Just on that, let me bring in then UN Special Advisor for Africa. You're very passionate about education, particularly STEM, and we know that the African Union has declared 2024 the year of education. Very exciting, but is it doable when you look at the average government spending on education in sub-Saharan Africa in particular is stagnated at 3.8%, its lowest since 2014. How can the continent then achieve these goals? How can we reverse this trend and commit to investing in education? Ms. Duarte.
Good morning to everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I think we reach a point that any conversation about education financing from an African standpoint, we need to bring to the table, to that conversation, inefficient public spending. Otherwise, in my view, is not a serious conversation. As we speak, and allow me very quickly, moderator, to provide some quick numbers. Public spending inefficiency in education reached 49%. Can I translate these in numbers? In cash, $12 billion a year. Any conversation about education financing needs to address the $12 billion inefficient public spending. At the same time, what we see, a huge effort from African governments to finance their education budget expenditures. You mentioned 3.9. I have a 4%, 5% figure. And half of African countries are meeting or are trying to meet the commitment. So we have inefficient public spending and a huge effort from governments to deliver these magic numbers, 3% of GDP, 4% of GDP, and this is a paradox. And what we see, if we analyze the conversation, the innovative financing is landing in this conversation. And debt swaps, and you mentioned, we need to be very careful. And believe, I'm going to say that because I was Minister of Finance, but before I worked 10 years in the international financial system. We need to be very careful to bring a financing mindset to solve problems that at the end of the day should be solved not by a financing mindset, by a efficient policy framework. What I'm trying to say, to fix education, learning poverty, this inefficiency in terms of public spending, you need to fix the budget. You need to fix the budget to fix education. ODA has no profile to finance these state functions because you need predictable cash flows. And ODA is not predictable. Actually, it's coming down. So in order to address this, someone mentioned the long-term mindset. Education financing requires a long-term mindset. And we have a paradox, my dear sister. We have been asking, I say Africans, but for more ODA. But at the end of the day, Africa loses $500 billion a year. I can provide down the road the breakdown if you ask me. So we need to stop losing money. We need to put domestic resource mobilization in the driver's seat of financing for development in Africa. And when doing so, we believe that we start getting money first to create a national education system. It's beyond building schools. You need to have a system so you deliver education today, tomorrow, but in the next 25 years. You don't need funding to build schools. You need to build the system that will take care of the schools. Otherwise, you invest in schools, and down the road, we'll not have money to maintain the schools, and you need to invest again in 10 years time. So thank you very much.